Good morning and welcome to Church at Home with Rachael for Friday the 18th of June. This month is going by so quickly, isn't it? Soon the kids will be back out of school. Holidays will start, and for many of us there's some lifting of restrictions and we can maybe have a bit of summer fun. I have to say I'm looking forward to that. This morning, hopefully Dude won't notice I'm wearing this colored boa. He finds it's a great distraction and likes to try to pick up all the feathers. But today I am wearing this in honor, and I've got my watch is my Pride watch. It just turned itself off. But I'm wearing this in honor of Pride Month. And tomorrow, at 1 p.m., I will be gathering with others at the museum in Wainwright for the Wainwright Pride Walk. And I will be there not just for myself, but I will be representing the Anglican Church in Wainwright. And I think I've got a few parishioners coming to join me as well. This month marks a month that has been going on for some time, Pride Month. But it is still a month that we are struggling as a worldwide community, but also even as a country and some pockets of our provinces, to understand why it's important or why it should happen. I have been blessed in that growing up in my life, I have known people who were lesbian and gay. Sometimes I didn't realize when I was younger. It was just who they were. It never occurred to me. Unfortunately, there have been people in my life. I'm old enough that not all of my lifetime have people been safe to come out of the closet, as they used to say. Not everybody has had the opportunity to be freely who they are as God made them, for fear of what their family would think, or their work, or their friends, or just simply the places where they lived. And that is a sad, sad thing. I know that growing up as a teenage girl, I had my own concerns about, did people like me? Was I popular enough? Was I good enough the way I was? And I didn't have to add in having any of those other things that, I wasn't a person of a different color. I didn't come from a different ethnic background. I was, white Anglo-Saxon, not Protestant, Anglican. But I really had all of those things in life going for me. I was a privileged person. And yet, as a teenager, I still felt all of those stresses that teenagers feel. I could not even imagine what it would be like to grow up when I did as a gay woman, as a lesbian teenage girl, having feelings that you couldn't talk about it in school. It would be, the odd teacher maybe, but things have changed so much. Things have changed so much. Now, if you are a member of any group, doesn't matter whether it's about your gender, your sexuality, your orientation, your ethnicity, your culture, your religion, there is a whole lot more acceptance and a recognition that we are all simply people doing our best to be good and kind and loving and figure out who we are and where we're going. I would go so far as to argue that we are all God's children, and I would argue that we were made in God's image exactly the way we are, and that we have been given the gift of being who we are because of God's incredible creativity and the diversity that God imagined into creation. If we think about it, the animals on the land, the birds in the air, the fish in the sea, all you have to do is go to an aquarium to see the varieties of different kind of fish, the colors, the different ways that they live, the different ways that they group together. If you look at the birds of the air, there are some like the robin or a sparrow or a chickadee that seem quite average and normal. But then we have things like peacocks and cockatiels. God didn't sort of look at them and say, I'm going to create one kind of this and one kind of that, and that'll be good enough. God created all of creation in such incredible diversity, with such creativity, with such color and imagination. Why would God not do the same for humanity? I can't believe that I didn't ask that question when I was 5 years old. It seems so obvious now. The fact is, though, that there are always going to be people who are bothered or worried or even threatened by that which is different than they are. And for my friends and the allies I have that with the LGBTQ2 spirited plus people, I ask your patience, because you know probably what it is to live in fear, what it is to live being worried that someone else will judge you or even harm you for simply being who you are. Well, that's how I think some people feel who aren't allies. I think they feel threatened. I think they feel that their way of life is being judged and found lacking, or they're concerned that something will happen to them and their families. I'm not asking that you necessarily take up the cause to help them. I am asking for your patience as we work together to help people recognize that there is no fear. And I think the feathers must be floating in the air. Sorry, folks. On tomorrow, when I walk in the parade for the Pride Day in Wainwright, as I said, I walk for myself and I walk for my family members, both closer and extended family, and those who are family by choice, not necessarily by blood, who are members of the LGBTQ2S+ group or allyship or whatever we want to call that. I also walk on behalf of my Anglican Church. Wherever I have been, I have always been open and completely understanding and welcoming, and I don't care about your sexuality. I care about you. If your sexuality is a part of who you are and you feel like it's something that you need to bring to me and share with me, then that's awesome. And if it's not, that's okay too. I love you for you, all of you, and I am not going to love you because you are lesbian or gay or bi or trans or anything like that. I'm simply going to love you because of who you are. But there have been people in my congregations, all of them, who have been uncomfortable with that. And I don't know about my current congregation because I haven't been able to worship with them or get to know them yet. But every congregation I have had, from the time I was ordained in 1999, there have been people within the congregation who were gay or lesbian or bi or trans. And there have been people who didn't even know that. And they loved them. And then when they did find out, they loved them anyway. But there have also been people who were uncomfortable, people who were hostile, people who felt threatened. And you know what? We, for the most part, worked through those things. It is unfortunate that there are times when I've had people come to me and say, if this is the way this church is going to be, or this is the way you're going to be as the priest, then I have to leave. And I have always asked them if they would be comfortable to stay and work with us through this difficulty for them. Or if that wasn't available, or if that wasn't a choice they felt they could make, I have also offered to walk with them as we discovered a new home or a new priest where they could feel comfortable. And I've always prayed that they would not only feel comfortable where they were, but also maybe feel uncomfortable enough that they would learn and research and educate themselves and maybe get to know somebody who was the other. Sometimes that's worked and sometimes it hasn't. We can't force our opinions on another. We can't force someone to change something that they believe to the depth of their being. We can simply pray that God will continue to work in their lives as we continue to pray that God will continue to continue to work in our lives. We are living in a world now where we are recognizing faster and faster and faster how many different ways there are of being a faithful and good person, both as Christians and just, in general in the world. We have so much work left to do, though. And I think I share a fear with many others that if we get so excited and, okay, yes, we've passed laws and marriages are now legal, and some places in the Anglican Church we can get married or at least have our union blessed in the church. There, the work is done. I'm afraid that if we think the work is done, the work will start to slide back downhill. I think the way I have to look at this is that we're on a journey, and it's an uphill journey. And if we stop and feel like, okay, we're there before we get to the top of this mountain, then we'll start to slide back down. We need to keep on going, but we need to do so in a way that is gentle and not and not blaming or accusatory, because if people who are allies or people who are members of the LGBTQ two-spirited plus identity, if we start pointing fingers at those who pointed fingers at us, then we will have a real problem, because we will become what we used to dread. We can't do that. We have to honor every human being for who they are. And so, as we learn, those of us in the world who are allies learn about pronouns and what is okay to say and what isn't okay to say, we ask your patience, because we're trying to learn a lot in a fast period of time when it seems like every day something's changing. But pray for us, encourage us, and help us then to all encourage other people, so that this isn't just a day. It can be a statement that's made every day by those who are comfortable. And it can be an idea for those who are uncomfortable, that they might begin to understand that maybe the world is a little bit bigger than their world, and God maybe did a little bit more than they thought. But what God did brilliantly, and God said it was good. God said it was very good. So have a very good day, everybody. Have a great weekend. If you're in the area, please join me at 1 o'clock at the museum, down at the end of Main Street in Wainwright, and we will walk, rain or shine, in support and solidarity with everyone who shines like a rainbow, who has a little bit of something in them that says, I'm proud to be who I am. I am proud to be the person God made me to be. So be safe. If you come out to the parade, wear your mask and wear your feathered boa or your lei or whatever it is you've got. You don't have to wear anything. Just come and join us. And pray for those who are marching. Pray for those who are doing the work in the world of helping others to see that we're all just people too. God bless you. Have a great weekend. I will see you Monday for Church at Home, because we're back in work. We're back in church for worship on Sunday. There will be a quick gospel sermon prayers announcements uploaded on YouTube by about 3 o'clock on Sunday. Have a great day, everybody. God bless. Bye.